Available today only. If this happened to you, contact your resort or Wesley Financial Group for help today.
Call Wesley now for your free exit information kit. 800-242-3131. 800-242-3131.
Tune in to 95.7 The Game for Warriors Live, 60 minutes before tip-off. Every Warriors game throughout the season as we get ready for the action. Presented by Xfinity, your home court advantage. Brought to you by Xfinity. Watch all your favorite teams all in one place. Xfinity. Imagine that.
Tune in to 95.7 The Game this Monday for Monster Mondays, where they discuss the red and gold, how they played, and where they're heading for the next game. Presented by Merit America. Visit them at meritamerica.org/super.
There's nothing like when you get that part from eBay and it just fits. Yeah, the first time. So you can do less of this and get right back to more of this. At eBay, you'll find all the parts you need, guaranteed to fit, at prices you'll love. Sounds good, doesn't it? eBay. Things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Oh, no.
Ah, that's the sound of someone who's misplaced
My debit card.
their debit card.
Where'd I leave that thing?
Not at the gas pump, or the checkout counter, or the roof of your car. Now, if he has the Chase mobile app, he can use Card Lock.
Wait, I could just lock my card.
Yep, just a few tippy taps on his phone, and that sound? That's peace of mind from Chase.
Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank N.A. member FDIC.
You're listening to 95.7 The Game, KGMZ FM in HD1 San Francisco on Odyssey Sports Station. Always live on the free Odyssey app, Twitch, and YouTube. Powered by First NorCal Credit Union.
It's time for the Kickoff Show.
What a win for the 49ers!
It's Sunday, and we're locked in on the red and gold.
What a run by George Kittle!
All right, good morning, everyone. What is going on? Get on up. The 49ers are back at it. Another early 10 a.m. kick. And Lorenzo Neal, Evan Giddings with you here on the Kickoff Show. An hour sleep less low. I know we got the daylight savings coming in, but I'm still fired up to be here. What's happening, man?
Oh, what's up, my brother? You're looking pretty today, baby. Pretty in the face, some in the waist. You got the new hairdo going. You got it all, the curls. You're looking great today. You see him over here, dog? You see my man looking great? Let's rock and roll. Niner, bang, bang, Niner gang. Here we go. NFL, it's here. Week 9? I mean, the season's flying by. Some great matchups on the slate today, and I'm excited.
Yeah, no doubt. And the Niners, of course, get the New York Giants, a place at MetLife Stadium, which has been a house of horrors in the past for the Niners, but a Giants team that we'll dig into. Young, upstart, exciting. They've been kind of a roller coaster ride this season. And the Niners have been a roller coaster themselves, Low, but in a different way. We talk about the injuries all the time. Last week, ironically, they got absolutely handled by the Houston Texans, but it's the 1 week this season where they didn't have any injuries that lingered over the next. So whereas they lost on the field, they finally somehow were able to win in terms of the body bag count.
Exactly. Hallelujah. You should be very proud that the Niners got guys. Everyone's healthy, no injuries. Every week seem like they're losing an important key or important piece to their team. And yes, they got beat last week. The Houston Texans, they were freaking got on a roll. You expected those guys to play a little bit better. They didn't turn on the ball. Stroud, the quarterback, played well. No injuries, though. Still a competitive game, even though the Niners kind of got dominated. They had some opportunities. They let them squander. Yeah,
no doubt. And I just want to kind of start with that game because, I think that this week now has a bit more. They're all important, but, the Niners are a team you're looking at. All right, the Rams next week. You got a tough kind of road matchup with the Giants this week. But Houston. Do we feel like, even though we knew the Texans were better than their record show, but do we feel like the Houston Texans sort of, I don't want to say exposed, but, kind of highlighted some of the things that the Niners have not been doing well throughout this season, but because they've made some winning plays, because they've had guys step up, did it feel like, Low, finally the injury bug or everything that's been ailing them finally caught up with them against Houston?
Yeah, I just think the inefficiency to run the ball, going to the well one too many times, and the guy's capable and he's comfortable of getting it done, and that's McCaffrey. But you look at if he doesn't get over 100 yards, this team is going to struggle, and they're going to struggle mightily. Houston was able to say, hey, make someone else beat us, and it didn't happen. McCaffrey didn't say he had a bad game. He had some decent runs, but the run game really never got going. Never just seemed like this offense just stayed stagnant, never really got on track. The defense couldn't get off the field on third down. They let your quarterback break the pocket, escape, elude certain things. So, and get out of harm's way with his legs. So I thought it just was kind of just one of those games that was just lackluster. It wasn't like a lack of effort. It just they didn't do what they usually do on third down. They wasn't efficient on offense, and they wasn't efficient on defense in crucial moments. Well,
to your point, I mean, McCaffrey only had 25 yards, but he only had 8 carries. And because they were off the field for the majority of the game, I mean, we were watching here in the studio that first drive, and Texans get the ball first. They go 10 plays. They take 8 minutes off the clock. And while they don't get a touchdown, then your offense follows up with a 3 and out, and then they go another 9 plays.
Right.
They go 7 minutes down the field. And by the time that Christian McCaffrey touched the ball, though, it was the second quarter. I know. And it wasn't necessarily because, the Niners weren't trying to give him the ball. It's like, no, they didn't have the ball to give it to him. So the Texans in that game controlled it for 41 minutes. And as much as the Niners, yes, had opportunities to maybe disrupt some of that flow, I mean, whenever you don't have the ball, whenever your defense is on the field for the better part of 2/3 of that game, it's going to be very difficult to try and win those.
If someone had told you McCaffrey wouldn't touch the ball for one whole quarter, I would have bet any amount of money on that. And he touched it 3 times, but it was an offsides, a penalty, so it didn't really count. So if you think about what happened in that game, it just their defense, they bend and they didn't break, and then at the end they finally broke. But if you think about the defense, they let the Texans control the ball for 8 minutes, 9 minutes, kicked the field goal. The second, same thing, drove down, kicked another field goal. So the defense kept them in the game, but the defense didn't allow them to get any type of rhythm. The offense last week, you saw it out of sync because it got no rhythm, it got no continuity, it didn't have enough opportunities because your defense, I don't think they punted. I don't think the Texans punted one time. Did they punt? So when you don't allow, when you keep the ball away from the offense and limit the amount of touches of McCaffrey and the 49ers offense, they're going to struggle, and they're going to struggle mightily, and that's what happened.
Yeah, the only time they punted was, the 8-minute mark of the fourth quarter when the game was effectively over. So you're right. They had the ball, and while I thought they kept the Niners in the game because they were getting 3 points and knocked 6.
Right.
That was a game that was only separated in terms of dominance by the score. It ended up being 26-15, but if the Texans had gotten touchdowns, that game would have been over by halftime. And the Niners, even with all of that going wrong, George Kittle has the touchdown on National Tight Ends Day. They have that interception. Diamador Lenore could have gotten down to maybe get you those 3 extra points. But you're looking up at the scoreboard, and it's not completely out of reach. But I think the Houston defense showed you that when the Niners go up against a group like that with an offensive line that hasn't been spectacular this year, Mac Jones, who was good in this game but isn't a guy to maybe go out and just dice up a defense like that. The Niners are a team that are not as superhuman as they've been made out to be. And I think it's because, they have had a lot of guys be put in positions to succeed. And I think you got to give some credit to DeMeco Ryans for understanding this Niners system, for going at Kyle Shanahan, and for kind of dictating terms in a game that, yes, it was only their second 10 a.m. game of the year, but I thought the Niners looked a little sluggish as a result of the time change.
They did, but I think that the Niners, it shows you that they're a team that capitalize on opportunities. They're an optimistic type of team. They're going to keep it close, and then boom, they'll go to the body, and they'll catch you with the right hook and win the game by 3. They'll keep it close. You'll fumble the ball, turn it over to them, and they'll go in and score. So the Niners are the type of team that, you heard, some of the clips, and you kind of listen to Daniel Jones. I mean, Mac Jones, when he talked about, what happened, they feel like they can strike. They're close enough, And he said this game they didn't feel that way. So when you hear, him saying that, it's like, okay, when for Mac to say that, Mac Jones to talk about the quarterbacks talking about, hey, look, we just didn't stay, we couldn't strike. We wasn't close enough. We were down by 2 scores. When you hear that, that's not how this team operates. That's not how this team wins football games because they're not good enough to go out and put up 30 burger. They're not good enough to be down by 40 or be down by 14 or be down by 10 and have this dramatic comeback. That's not how they're built. They're a team that works off of efficiency. They're a team that's optimistic. They're a team that's going to defensively say, we're going to let you drive the ball down score, and then we're going to make in the red zone. We're going to pin our ears back. We're going to get locked in, and we're going to give up 3. So you have to realize, if you let a team drive down 3 times and you're only getting 3 points, that's 9 compared to 21. The Niners can overcome things like that, even if they give up 3. They can't overcome when teams drive down the field and get 7. This team's not built like that. They're not explosive enough. They don't have enough weapons to be that type of team. So that's why they have to play efficient, complementary football if they want to continue to win.
And unfortunately, they're not going to get a couple of those weapons back. Brock Purdy is going to remain out for this game. He is, however, available. Now, this was something that during the week I thought was very interesting. On Wednesday, I understand midweek the quarterback, he's on the side, he's limited. You're not going to name your starter on Wednesday unless, of course, you absolutely know who it is. But you don't want to reveal your card before you have to. On Friday, however, the media was asking Shanahan about, all right, well, Brock Purdy, right? He's been out, but what's his status going into this weekend? He's finally got some more practicing in. What's the turf toe? And Shanahan, to me, I thought was, I don't know if combative is the word, low, but he certainly wasn't disclosing anything. So I want to play this for you and kind of see what your reaction to this all is, because I thought the back and forth about Brock was pretty interesting.
Wow.
Situation with the toe, you don't want to have it aggravated again. I mean, this obviously has a chance to play. So how do you, balance that? Like, he could play, and that means he could aggravate it again. I mean, is his toe fully healthy?
What's the question? Is his toe fully healthy? No, it's not fully healthy.
It's not fully healthy, so there's a chance, he gets out to play. So there's a risk with it. I guess, obviously there's a risk always, but there's a risk that he could aggravate it again.
Yes, I think you just answered your own question. Obviously there's a risk with everything. But yes. Can you heard it again? Yes.
And because the guy wanted to be, and that's what happens when you throw a softball. You just got to come out and be like, hey, look, Brock's dealing with the turf toe. Can he play? Yes. Okay, will he play? Don't know. What is it going to take for him to play? Does Mac have to struggle? What is it going to get him back in the game? When do you, or just ask him, how far away is from him that you feel comfortable with him starting? It's understandable. You want to make sure that you get the coach still in his good graces, ask him. But you just got to say, okay, so he's out practicing this week. So does that mean does that mean in a week or 2 weeks he will be back starting? Or if he says yes or if he says no, then you're going to say, has Mac Jones and you guys discussed and said, will Mac remain the starter and Purdy backup because Mac Jones is playing at a high level? It's just, and then then you can get some of those answers, because I think people want to know, and I think Kyle Shanahan knows without a doubt that Brock Purdy can play right now. But Kyle Shanahan also believes what Mac Jones has done, he has earned the right to quarterback this team. He has earned the right to finish writing his story. Not that Purdy's not going to be the quarterback of the future. Not that Purdy is not the starter. But right now, Mac Jones is the starter. He's playing like that. Guys are in rhythm with him. The team respects him. So what are you going to get with Purdy? By interjecting Purdy into this offense right now, knowing that he's not as mobile as he used to be, knowing that, hey, one of his biggest deficiencies maybe is throwing the ball down the middle of the field because he's not as tall and he can't see the middle as well. Why would we limit him, and why would we put him in there at a disability? So I think that's what Kyle Shanahan understands, and that's why he's going with Mac Jones right now.
Yeah, I think it's like Jacksonville's the reason why we're in the situation we are now. Number one, because Brock Purdy re-aggravated his toe. Number two, he showed that when he's not 100% and he's hampered by this injury, he could lose you a game. And Shanahan can't put his team in a position to let that happen. Mac Jones, I think, has been, for a backup quarterback in his position, being thrown into the fire, especially without everything around him, he's been fantastic. He's been 4-2. But I guess I wonder, Lo, and maybe you can help me here. I know that turf toe is and we talked about it, it's a really difficult injury to predict on how guys are going to react, reaction to practice, the reps, all the rest. But since that Jacksonville game, they've played 4 games, and Mac Jones has gone 2-2. But before that, he had to play 2 games, New Orleans, Arizona. He obviously won them. Do you think the 49ers would have been better off right off the rip just putting Brock Purdy on IR and sitting him down for the full month, as opposed to, because right now he's missed a month after re-aggravating it again, and he still hasn't been put on IR, and that to me indicates that they don't really know. Again, it's a very unpredictable injury, but it feels to me like they might have been able to get out in front of this if they had just said, all right, turf toe, done, IR, 4 weeks, we'll reevaluate as we go along, and this is Mac Jones' team.
If hindsight is 2020, the reason why I don't think you could have done that is because if Mac Jones goes down, who's your backup? See, and that's what the deal is. It's hard to just come out and say, Purdy, you're the backing up. We want you to get healthy. We want you to stay healthy. We want to let you continue to rest. We hope we don't have to use you. Let's let Mac Jones run this team. Let him finish what he's doing. Hey, but look, you're going to back up. We're going to let you get healthy. Even when you're feeling good, we're still going to keep you on backup. This is your team in the future, but let him do it. What's wrong with saying that? And that's the thing. And it's like you're saying, okay, well, if they would have put him on IR for those 4 weeks or 8 weeks, here's the deal. If Mac Jones gets hurt, what is your option? Now the wheels fall off. So now they're still protecting Purdy. If Mac Jones, something happens, now you can emerge Purdy and you're not going to fall off the cliff. If you didn't have Purdy as a backup in the way this team is playing and you don't have Purdy as a backup and he's on IR, what's your options? How does that look? And that's why Kyle Shanahan couldn't put him on IR, because he is still capable of winning you ball games.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be Adrian Martinez. I mean, that's your backup quarterback.
Yeah, I can't get those 10 seconds back.
I mean,
and that's what I'm saying.
Well, I do wonder, though, like, what the situation would have been if Mac Jones, because he's battled through injury. I mean, he's been dealing with this PCL. He's had other kind of nicks and bruises. Right. He's been banged up, and he's fought through it all. I do wonder if he had gone down, what the situation would have been for Brock Purdy, because this week it feels to me like he's the emergency third.
Right.
But I also, to your point, God love Adrian Martinez, I find it hard to believe that if Mac Jones got hurt today, Kyle Shanahan would not go straight back to Brock, especially because he has been out on the field. He hasn't gotten the first team reps, but he's been practicing. It's just that he's not, in my opinion, a better option right now at less than 100% than the guy in front of him.
Oh, without a doubt. And 1,000%, if Mac Jones got hurt today in that game, Adrian Martinez, love you. Fresno kid, shout out Fresno. Good guy. Great young man. He's great. He's getting a cup of tea in the cup of coffee in the National Football League. 1,000% they're going with Brock, because he gives you a better chance than Martinez. He knows the offense way better. He's familiar, and an injured Brock Purdy is more efficient than a Martinez.
And this is what Kyle Shanahan had to say in general about the quarterbacks.
This is the first time that Brock has been questionable here and not out. What does that mean as far as possible availability for Sunday's game?
It means he's got a chance to be available.
Do you have a chance to start?
No, Mac's going to be starting.
A chance to be available, Lo.
And that's exactly before you even play. That's what I told you. Just look, he's available.
Yeah.
Mac Jones is starting. Brock is at the backup position. Why? When they ask it, well, why is he backing up if he's ready to play? Because right now, Mac Jones gives us a better chance to win. Was he the quarterback? Right now, he's the quarterback because Brock Purdy is still not 100%. Right now, Jones has given this team a spark, and he's got the offense down. People are gravitating toward him. The offense is functioning at a high level. As a head coach, my job is to make sure it's about winning. It's not about the players. It's not about who's behind it. It's not about 13, about 11, 10. Doesn't matter the number of individuals that I may like. It's about I like winning, and I'm going to do what I can do, put this team in the best position to win no matter who's the quarterback. And that's what I'm going to do. Purdy is set. Purdy is taken care of. Purdy has a long-term contract. Brock Purdy is the future. But right now, I am not going to disturb this offense in the flow of what we have going on by putting in a guy, rushing him back. We did that against Jacksonville. How'd that work out for you guys? You guys are saying, we're trying to turn this into something bigger than what it is? No. The only thing that is going on is Mac Jones gives us a better chance to win football games right now because Brock Purdy he's good. He's well enough to play, but he's not 100%, and he's not as effective as Mac Jones right now. That's my opinion as a coach, and that's why I have him as the backup to I see fit. What does that look like? When is that going to change? When is he going to be ready? When I think that he's 100%, when I think that he's ready to go, that's when I'll let you guys know. That's it.
Well, and I think that's what makes this an important game today because, look, if you win this game, you are 6-3. And while you're not maybe in the driver's seat for the NFC West because that division has been really good this season, but you do have the inroad to an NFC wildcard berth. Right now, the Niners sit in 7th place, that last wildcard spot. And although they're in last place, the separation right now between them and Dallas is a game and a half. You look at them and the Bears is a game. And you already have a couple of legs up with the NFC victories that you've banked. So I think that this game right here, if they're able to get the Giants, if Mac Jones can win you that game, okay, the Rams are a tough one. But then Arizona, which is a team that you have beaten and can beat. Carolina after that. They've been better, but the Panthers are a squad that you would feel confident in at home. And then you go on the road to Cleveland, which is not an easy place to play. You've lost a couple of years ago, but the Browns have not been a great organization as of late. And to me, the last sort of 5 games low going into that Week 14 bye, the Niners have set themselves up very nicely by winning enough early games, by trusting Mac Jones, and this is another Sunday, another situation in a hostile environment on a place that's tough to play against a team that is very unpredictable in the Giants. This is an opportunity for you to, again, just survive another week. And to me, Mac Jones has been, I don't watch the TV show, but he's been the survivor. He's been the guy that you can trust on a week-by-week basis to put you in a position to succeed, and that's all the 49ers can be asking for right now.
They have to win this game. Well, this is one of them weeks that
I'm kind of with you, though. It's a swing week.
Yeah, everyone's like, well, it's not a must-win until you're at mathematically. This is a must-win because you got what you have on your schedule coming up. This would be good for you. If you win this game, you put yourself in a good position. And the Giants are in a situation where they need to win because they lost some momentum. And, you got Scatterboo who just broke his ankle, who dislocated his ankle, great running back. He's hurt. So when you think about this game, I think you're going to see a Niner team very aggressive. I think you're going to see them push the ball down the field. I think they're going to take shots. I think you're going to see a Niner team play a different type of style of football today because they understand what's at stake. This is a big game. They know the importance of this game. I don't believe you'll see a slow starting team that you've seen last week. It went into Houston. Yeah. It just got slapped off across the field. I don't think you'll see. I think you're going to see a motivated guys trying to make plays. You're going to see intense, a fired up team. You're going to see a different type of motivation on the Niners. Both teams, the Giants too. It's going to be a good game. But watch for the Niners to play with energy, play with pizzazz, play with their hairs on fire, play with their life depended on it. Because I'm going to tell you right now, this is a big game, like you said, swing game. It's going to be interesting.
Well, and look, the Giants' defense is no pushover. Brian Burns leads the league with 10 sacks. Kayvon Thibodeau can get to the quarterback. Dexter Lawrence might be one of the best, if not the best, defensive tackles in the league. And actually, there's a piece of sound I do want to play later in the show that I thought was maybe a little bit motivating for Dexter Lawrence in this matchup, but they're not the Houston Texans. The Houston Texans defense is utterly, they're scary. Yeah. I mean, that's a group that might be top 2, and I'm not talking 2 in the NFL. Like, that's a group that I think you have to give the respect for, and they showed why they're so vaunted last week against the Niners. The one thing that had me feeling, I guess, a little concerned about last week, Lo, was the 49ers defense. we knew that C.J. Stroud, we know he's a talented quarterback, but we also know that he's struggled this season.
Sure.
Some of it's because of the surroundings. The offensive line's not been great. The wide receiving core has been kind of puzzle pieced together. The running back room, no Joe Mixon for much of the year. But the Niners could not get pressure on C.J. Stroud. And I was just wondering, as you're watching that game and you're seeing, yes, no Bryce Huff out there, obviously no Bosa, a lot of the kind of the backups and second-level players for the Niners not be able to put pressure on C.J. Stroud and watch him just dice you up down the field, 130 for 39. Were you feeling like, all right, well, if they can't get to the quarterback against this guy, maybe this team just doesn't have what it takes to get pressure? I think Robert Saleh has his hands full this week off of last week's performance.
Yeah, he does, because you got another mobile quarterback that, that can get it done with his legs, and he's young and he's inexperienced, but this guy can play. And you got lane integrity is going to be at a premium today, because if you get out of your lane, this kid will hurt you with his legs. And last week you saw Houston Texans team get after it. We'll see what happens today with Houston, because they got the Denver Broncos, and Denver's been playing really good football. So we'll get to see, is Denver and Houston, are these two teams that are heading toward the playoffs, and really in the two AFC teams that look pretty good. So I just want to see this team put pressure on the quarterback, because I thought they put pressure on the quarterback last week, but I thought he got out of the pressure with his legs. How many times they break containment and he freaking picked up 10 yards? The pressure was in his lap. He just took off, pulled the ball. So I think this is not necessarily about pressure. It's about a control rush, keeping guys in the pocket and making that pocket collapse on him. You can't give these type of quarterbacks a way out, because they'll kill you with his legs. And that's what Strauss did last week. He was effective. They never made him ineffective, because not only did he have time, he got ready to. He also could move the pocket with his legs, keep his eyes downfield, still making throws outside of the pocket, and making plays with his legs.
Yeah, 475 yards for the Houston offense. They were 9 of 16 on third down. Meanwhile, you brought this up, which is probably the biggest issue for the Niners offense. They were only 3 of 9 on third down. And that's been a category that I've been very impressed with Mac Jones in, it seems like, the majority of the season. And it's not just throwing the ball to Christian McCaffrey. I mean, when he's needed to get you 3rd and 7, 3rd and 8, 3rd and manageable, he's been able to get the job done. But it felt like last week, because they were behind schedule on first downs, a couple tackles for losses, he's running around like a chicken with his head cut off. Mac Jones was not put in a position to do what he normally does.
He wasn't, and the pressure was there, but they didn't have the opportunities. They, of course, 3 for 9. When you play against Mahomes, like Patrick Mahomes, when you play against the Josh Allens, the Joe Burrows, offenses have a job to do. It's to keep the ball out of their hands. It's the limited amount of touches that they have. It's to keep them off rhythm. It's to keep them off schedule. It's because if I give Mahomes time, chances after chances, Joe Burrows, all these guys, Josh Allen, when you're 3 and out, it's a matter of time before the dam breaks. The Niners, they're a team that the dam's not going to break. They're a team by attrition that's just going to keep wearing. If the defense can give you the ball, they're going to get you 3. Okay, they're going to keep pushing. They can ball control. But if you don't give them opportunities, when you have a 9-minute drive, you're the Texans, then come back with a 6 or 7-minute drive. Now as a play caller, my mindset is different, because I can't just play grind football because I'm down. I can't just be conservative because I see that my defense can't get stops. I know I'm gonna have a limited amount of touches, so I'm gonna handle offensively different. I gotta be more aggressive. Gotta take more shots. We have to find a way to score because we know our defense is not gonna get us some 3 and outs. So that changes the way Shanahan calls plays. It changes so many things about this team. When it's a close game and they're in it and it's a struggle and both teams are, taking turns throwing blows, that's what the Niners can strike. And that's what Mac Jones alluded to when he said, we just never was in striking range. We usually keep games closer and we have a chance to win it late. they didn't have that chance.
That's Lorenzo Neal. My name is Evan Giddings. This is the Kickoff Show. And a reminder, next weekend we are back at Laughing Monk Brewing in Sunnyvale for the Kickoff Show, right before the L.A. Rams come to town for the second of two legs. Again, they beat them in L.A. Can they sweep the season series next Sunday, a 1 o'clock kick? We got great food, great drinks, great games in the parking lot, a free shuttle to and from the stadium. All shows start 2 hours before kickoff with Lo and I, and all the early games will be on for you to watch if you're going to the game. Again, the free shuttle to and from Levi's. The first one last week, it sold out. It was there again for the Sunday night football game against the Falcons. We got great people there as well. Laughing Monk Brewing in Sunnyvale. 2 buses, that's right. So park at Laughing Monk for free, join the party, and then take the shuttle back and forth to the game. All you got to do is sign up and reserve a spot. Go to 957thegame.com, click on the Kickoff Show graphic, and then click on the Eventbrite link to sign up. We got you until 10 a.m. today. Giants, the Niners, Week 9 coming at you. The Kickoff Show continues with Lorenzo Neal and Evan Giddings after this on 95.7 The Game.
Bang, bang!
When businesses thrive, communities score. That's why Bank of America is the official bank of FIFA World Cup here in the Bay Area. And our more than 110 local business specialists are ready to help your business win. What would you like the power to do? Learn more at bankofamerica.com/local business. Bank of America, official bank of FIFA World Cup 2026. Bank of America Corporation, all rights reserved.
Tune in to 95.7 The Game for Warriors Live, 60 minutes before tip-off. Every Warriors game throughout the season as we get ready for the action. Presented by Xfinity, your home court advantage. Brought to you by Xfinity. Watch all your favorite teams all in one place. Xfinity, imagine that.
Tune in to 95.7 The Game this Monday for Monster Mondays, where they discuss the red and gold, how they played, and where they're heading for the next game. Presented by Merit America. Visit them at meritamerica.org/super.
I'm Piera Palazzolo, VP of Digital Marketing for the American Management Association, a company focused on the management training skills needed to enhance the careers of business professionals. We did our research when it came to the best companies for website development and chose AmericanEagle.com. And we couldn't be happier. AmericanEagle.com worked closely with us to understand the front and back end requirements needed to launch an e-commerce website that could handle the complexities of running thousands of seminars nationwide. Our robust new website and improved SEO saw immediate increases in site traffic and web revenue. If you're in need of managerial effectiveness and success, visit our website at amanet.org. If you're in need of a website that provides an unparalleled consumer experience, I highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Transform your business today. Dial 877-WEBNOW1 for a free digital consultation with AmericanEagle.com.
Join Spadoni, Shasky, Steiny, Guru, Willard, and Dibbs for the Blue and Gold Summit live at Jackson Pleasant Hill Thursday, November 6th. Willard and Dibbs from 2 to 4, the Summit 4 to 6. Talk hoops, grab a drink, and enjoy happy hour specials only at Jackson Pleasant Hill on November 6th. Don't miss it.
Stand Up to Cancer's vehicle donation program makes it easy to turn your unwanted vehicle into funding to support innovative cancer research. This research leads to new treatments for patients right now. Donate your car today. Visit standuptocancer.org/cars to learn more.
There's nothing like when you get that part from eBay and it just fits. Yeah, the first time. So you can do less of this and get right back to more of this. At eBay, you'll find all the parts you need, guaranteed to fit, at prices you'll love. Sounds good, doesn't it? eBay. Things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Oh, no.
Ah, that's the sound of someone who's misplaced
My debit card.
their debit card.
Where'd I leave that thing?
Not at the gas pump, or the checkout counter, or the roof of your car. Now, if he has the Chase mobile app, he can use Card Lock.
Wait, I could just lock my card.
Yep, just a few tippy taps on his phone, and that sound? That's peace of mind from Chase.
Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank N.A. member FDIC.
The NBA season tips off, and so does DraftKings' newest fantasy game. DraftKings Pick 6 is the easiest way to play for big wins, with every possession giving you a shot at real money. Here's how to play. Just pick more or less on 2 or more stats, and unlock the upside every game brings. The better your picks, the bigger your payout. Pick 6 is available in your state. Plus, new DraftKings customers can get $50 in bonus picks with just a $5 entry on your first pick set. Don't just watch basketball, cash in. Download the DraftKings Pick 6 app now and use code THEGAME. That's code THEGAME. Play just $5, get $50 in Pick 6 bonus picks. Make the call. Ride the upside in partnership with DraftKings Pick 6. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Must be 18 and over. Age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void where prohibited. 1 per new customer. Bonus awarded as non-withdrawable Pick 6 bonus picks that expire in 14 days. Limited time offer. See terms at pick6.draftkings.com/promos.
Sports fans, listen up. 1 in 8 men will be diagnosed with prostate cancer, and bladder leaks can be a side effect. That's why Depend is teaming up with the Prostate Cancer Foundation to encourage screening, because health is a long game, and it's yours to win. Now here's the cool part. Through November, Depend is contributing up to $300,000 to prostate cancer research by donating 25 cents for every purchase of Depend shields, guards, and Real Fit products. Void in Mississippi. Learn more at depend.com.
95.7 The Game and Great Clips have teamed up for the new basketball season. We want our listeners to look fresh with a great haircut from Great Clips. Each week, we'll pick a lucky winner to score a gift card. For a chance to win, courtesy of Great Clips, enter online at 957thegame.com.
Now back to the Kickoff Show on 95.7 The Game.
All right, Lorenzo, Neil, Evan Giddings with you until 10 o'clock, getting you set for Week 9 between the San Francisco 49ers and the New York Giants here on the Kickoff Show. We'll go around the league a little bit, and this is why I got to ask you. I love the 10 a.m. games personally because we can get up, we can get ready, we can get set, we can get the game in, and then we can be on about our day. But I got to ask, though, Lo, what is it about 10 a.m. games for West Coast teams that feels like sometimes they're just rolling out of bed with us?
Oh, boy. I know, man, because, hey, the early bird gets the worm. You got to get up early. My dad used to say, son, if you want to hoot with the Owls, you can't soar with the Eagles. You got to be able to, that means you got to pick your poison. And that's the thing. When you're talking about going to a time difference and you're losing 3 hours, you have to realize, hey, you're getting up at 9 a.m., it's 6 a.m., in the West Coast. So if you're getting up at 6, it's pretty much 3. So you have to realize that's a big difference on the body, and guys got to get acclimated to that. And that's why, hey, look, the night before, even though it's 7, 8 o'clock, and you're like, hey, I feel like it's only 5 o'clock on West Coast time, you got to force yourself to lay down. Take an Ambien, get something for make sure you make yourself get to sleep, because you got to hit the road running today. You can't say, oh, I'm wake up after the first half. You got to come out. Guys need to be up. They got to be on schedule. They got to have their mind right. That's what it is. It's tough when you're playing that 10 a.m. game East Coast because your body's just used to being on a West Coast time. So, that's why sometimes teams go out there even 2 days early. Some teams go out there on Friday so they can get 2 days to let their body get acclimated to it.
Well, that's why last week that was one of the things that I had in the file, right, of why could this game be a little more difficult? Because the last time they played a 10 a.m. game, it was week 2. It was a month and a half prior. Now this week, there's no excuses. You got a back-to-back week where you have a 10 a.m. game, early start. I know the daylight savings makes you lose an hour, but I'm kind of with you. We were talking about, what kind of Niners team are we going to see today? Now, I don't know if I think they should win this game. This is a big swing game for them. There's a lot of pressure on it, but I also believe that the team that we saw at the start of the Houston game, which was also a little dictated by just the game script, right? It didn't go the way you wanted it to. They couldn't get the Texans off the field. The defense was put in a poor spot. The offense, I thought, was a little sluggish and started slow. It was just a really bad script for the Niners. Today, though, I do have a feeling we're going to see a different level of energy. Does it mean they'll win the game? Not necessarily. But I don't see a slow start a second time.
Yeah, I don't. Nor do I. But it's a fall back, spring forward, right? So fall. So don't you fall back an hour? So right now it's 8:30. So it would be 9:30, right? It would have been 9:30. Correct?
Oh, that's true. Yeah. No,
So
you're right.
So you're getting an hour, baby. Come on. I had to make sure. Come on, you got the old. See, it's crazy. You're like, Lo, where the hell are you talking about? You're already talking about the game.
I know I lost an hour.
I know.
I know I lost an hour. I don't know about the rest of y'all.
You're messing me up. We're talking football, and I'm like, man, he kind of just threw me for a woozy there.
Oh, man.
You're like, Lo, I'm tired. Leave me alone. But that's good for the Niners.
Yeah.
Because you don't so they got another hour's sleep. So look, you got to go play the game. And, last week you went out, went to Texans and Houston Texans, and they beat up on you. You didn't have a good showing offensively or defensively. You win as a team, you lose as a team. We always talk about the different phases of the game. And offense didn't create enough first downs to help their defense, a young defense, by extending plays to let them rest. The defense didn't get enough stops to give the offense more opportunities. So both collectively, offensively and defensively, they lost that game. Both sides of the ball played bad.
Now, this is something I really want to get into it with you. It has to do with how the media can sometimes influence performance, and I don't know if you want to call them motivating, but as someone who both played and has been a member of the media, has had to give their opinions, has had to be critical, has had to heap praise, there is a member of the New York media who also kind of is in a similar spot, right? Carl Banks used to play linebacker for the New York Giants, Washington, Cleveland as well. Really good back in his day, 2-time Super Bowl champ. He is a part of the Believe Network, which you and I are both a part of as well. You with the Chargers, I do stuff for the Niners. Earlier this week, Carl was asked about Dexter Lawrence, who has been unequivocally one of the best defensive tackles in the league the last few seasons. And understandably, anytime a team's not doing well, 2-6 is where the Giants right now rest. There's going to be criticism thrown all around. And I do think it's appropriate to put it at the footstep of the best players, right? You make the most money. Sure. You're expected to do the most. You take most of the blame.
Absolutely.
But I want you to listen to what Carl Banks had to say about Dexter Lawrence, because I don't know if it was too harsh, but this absolutely set the New York Giants locker room and media scene ablaze. Cam, could you please?
Dexter Lawrence, nobody respects you anymore. Nobody. Your opponents do not. The pre-injury Dexter is not there in their heads. They don't respect you. And there's a difference. You're on the field. They're blocking you with a 9-year backup center. You're not making a difference. The old Dexter would. Okay? There are a lot of things that go into your performance. Only you know what that is, whether you're still recovering or not. I'm just telling you now, I'm looking at enough tape to know that your opponents don't respect you. Not like they used to. And here's the thing. When Darius Alexander gets in the game, when Roy Robinson gets in the game and they substitute for you, those guys are making plays. DJ Davidson. Those guys are making plays against the same guys that are blocking you. I'm going to just say this. Again, I don't know the circumstances. It's time for you to start expecting more of yourself. I don't know if you're injured. I don't know if you've fully recovered. But it's time to start asking more of yourself because they don't respect you.
Whoa.
Sorry, some strong words. I thought towards the end is what he really was trying to get into, which is basically we need more from you. You're the best player. We got to get more. But I was also taken aback because you had a former player kind of going after a current player, which is not something you always see.
No, you don't. And I know Carl, know him personally. He's great, man. Pretty much he doesn't have to do this.
Yeah.
He owns Starter. He's a guy that's been involved in clotheslines, very, very successful, very articulate, very smart individual, been on some great teams, won Super Bowls. He was, on the staff when I played with the Jets, watched him play from, and just to have had many conversations with him. It's tough because, you don't like talking about players. You don't like talking about people's turkey and talk about, what people are doing, especially, active players because, you played the game and you understand how hard it is to be a pro. I think that he's just, trying to get under Dexter's skin. He's trying to, he knows that this guy probably has more in the tank. He's seen what he can be, very disruptive. You're a grown man playing a kid's game, getting a king's ransom, and you have to show out. And when he's making associations saying that he watched the tape and he's got the receipts to back what he's saying, and it's like, okay, is he just saying this guy's not respecting him? He said the same guys, the backup players you put in, and they're making plays against these guys that you're not making plays against. So there is a correlation, and there seems to be a problem. And so players can either say, hey, get mad and come after him because they can say, I can't believe you did that because you played this game, you're going to call him. Or you can say, man, he was right. Man, he gave me some hard, tough love, and I'm going to answer the bell. Yeah, I'm one of the highest paid guys, and my backups are making way more plays than me. I got to fix this problem. And I just don't want him to get it fixed today because you're playing against the Niners. So I wish Banks wouldn't have said anything. I don't want to see these guys play well today. I want to see, hey, Dexter, listen, take another week off, brother. Hey, look, you're okay. I know you can turn it on, but let's get healthy, man. Why don't you sit this, be a healthy scratch, and don't play today. But no, when Carl Banks speaks and he says he's got the receipts and he talked about he watched tape, I don't doubt that he did. I know he did. And he wouldn't, because that's how he validates what he's talking about. I just think that bottom line, what he was saying is, I don't know if he says, when you say they don't respect you, it's kind of tough. Maybe he's just like, hey, look, guys don't fear. You're not the player right now. People don't believe you're the player that you once was. Are you going to get this thing going? Change the way that your perception, because right now perception is reality. And your reality is you're not playing well right now. I think could have worded it a little bit different, but that's Carl Banks.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of where I was going with it. It's a pretty motivating factor for a guy that has the ability to wreck a game, and now he's got an opportunity to do it against the Niners. So I do think that while we're going to see a more invigorated Niners group, might also see a sack or two by Dexter Lawrence today in response to that, because that's the kind of player that he is. But how did you see some of the great players that you played alongside? Maybe an experience that you had where unintentionally the media was a motivating factor. Like, the media can take cheap shots. I guess Carl Banks is kind of in a different category because he has the cachet of someone that's been there and done it. But when you hear someone talking like that, is it motivating? Is it frustrating? Does it make you angry? I think I heard that Dexter Lawrence responded and basically was like, he said something along the lines of, he doesn't know what he's talking about. And to me, that's just a natural lash out response of someone that's being critical of you. The season's not going the way they want. But how does the media, do they get received in the locker room? And have you seen a star player respond in a positive fashion to criticism like that?
Well, I've seen both sides of the spectrum. I think sometimes the media can take information and run with it, and it's like sometimes you're so far in the forest you can't see the trees. And like, what's that thing? What's the saying? If a tree falls in the forest,
who really heard it?
Exactly, yeah. Unless you're there. And I've seen a guy, the great, who he is, one of the greatest running backs, if not the best, I think top 2 or 3 that ever played the game, LaDainian Tomlinson. I think you remember the game we're playing against New England, and he's on the bench, and it's like, and the media just, because you see such a legend, you see such a guy with such a high profile and one of the best backs that ever played the game, you're like, oh, he quit on his team. And people didn't know the significance of his knee. But you give people a pen and a paper and let them do what they're saying. And justice sometimes is blind. And justice sometimes is not. Just because you have a pen and paper don't mean that you know the whole story. You paint a picture, you write the story, and no matter what, millions of people. So that's the thing about it. You have to be careful when you're going to criticize or come at someone if you don't get the whole story. If Dexter is hurt, and sometimes teams want you to still play hurt, and they shoot you up, and you go out there and play, and you look bad, and that tape's getting passed around the league, but you're doing it because the team thinks you still can play in a half. Dexter is better than a whole of someone else. Then they do that. So at sometimes I've seen players sacrifice their career, lose millions of dollars because the coaches and staff wanted them players to go out there. I've seen guys go out there with, turf toe. Eric Martin, receiver for play with me for the Saints. Number 84, played LSU, great receiver, out there and shoot up his toe and watch this guy go out there and tear it up. But then after the game, just watch him, the agony and what they go through. So, yes, sometimes the criticism is needed. I think, but a lot of times it's how you deliver it, and also have your facts. If you're going to come, make sure you have the receipts, because make sure you know exactly what's going on that individual. Some guys, you put them in a 3-4 or put them in a 3-4 where there's 3 down linemen and 4 linebackers, and then all of a sudden now out of the nose you're getting doubled every time. But you put them in a 4-3 where it's 4 defensive linemen instead of 3. Now it's 4 down linemen. Now the nose is on it's a nose guard, but you got a 3 technique right there, a guy over the guard. Now you got a one-on-one matchup. So you got to realize, understand the circumstance. And I imagine Carl has, because he played this game, but a lot of people just can see something and say, oh, where's that guy? Where's he been showing up? Well, he's getting 2 and 3 guys on him now because he's playing in a 3-4 compared to a 4-3.
Yeah, I mean, and I think, too, like, again, what we're talking about this is Carl Banks earlier this week, said that the opposing line, I believe it was after the Eagles game, right? And they got kind of handled by Philly, was saying that the backups, the players on Philadelphia, didn't respect Dexter Lawrence. He did kind of walk it back towards the end, saying, I don't know if he's hurt, I don't know if he's this, but they don't respect him, and that needs to change, essentially, if the Giants are going to be a successful football team. And I guess my biggest, like, I think from afar, low, because I don't have a chance to always be in these locker rooms to go and talk to these guys all the time. But to me, if you are going to take shots, you should be willing to explain why you feel the way you feel if the player was in front of you. And if you can't, then I think it's a little cheap. Like, I've had opportunities to talk to pro athletes and be in some locker rooms, and I don't think that anything I've said, I wouldn't have a problem explaining it to them.
Well, I think explaining it and telling it to their face is 2 different things. There's some things that you probably wouldn't say to Trent Williams, but people can get a pen and paper and write it.
Oh, of course.
They can say, you know what? They can get a pen and paper and say, oh, Trent is this or whatever, and they get in front of him and he looks down at you.
He's a big boy.
He's a big man, and they're like, oh, well, in this play, you look like you slipped, you lost your footing. Instead of saying, you got bulled and your feet, your feet slid out from me because you got bull rushed. Hey, that up and under move, hey, look, hey, didn't get that hard kick step down. Man, he kind of ran around you. What happened? Are you losing it? Why didn't you get back quick enough? What happened? Did you not know the counts? The snap? Are you really willing to say some of these things in people's face? A lot of people, and I don't think a lot of the media would say a lot of those things to their face, but they can do the rah-rah outside of their face. So you're right, though. When if you're willing to say some of these things, you got to say it to their face. And I don't think Carl Banks, I know Carl Banks would say it to his face.
Oh, yeah.
Carl Banks is not going to run from his truth. And I think that you still have to be careful because it's tough. This is a tough way to make a living. Yes, the money's great. It's unbelievable. But every year there's someone trying to take your place. It's hard to stay in this league. So I get both sides of it.
Well, and I think it also applies to the 49ers, too, because they're a team that right now has a few players where the injuries are kind of, they're kind of questions, right? There's a lot of gray area with Brock Purdy's toe. I would even say with Ricky Pearsall's knee. Ricky Pearsall is another player who is going to be out in this game, has been doing side work, but hasn't really been practicing since he injured his knee. I believe it was week 4, but he's missed the last, month or so, and it's a PCL, but no one really knows where Ricky Pearsall is, how close he's going to be, and to me, it's you have to give these guys the benefit of the doubt from that standpoint of if they're out there, yes, then we can be critical. We can talk about what they did on the field, but saying if a guy is injured and should be back out there, if saying that a guy needs to get back for his team, I have to assume, Lo, that they're trying to do all these things that we want them to do, but. You're right. Like sometimes we just don't know. I'm not even sure, as it applies to Brock Purdy, I'm not even sure the Niners know what's going to happen on a day-to-day basis with that toe. So how am I going to know?
Yeah, but trust me, E, I've been on, like I said, both sides. I've seen guys that milk it. I've seen guys that said, hey, look, I'm shutting it down. I've heard guys tell me to my face, I'm shutting. And this is just, you ask, have I seen certain things? Of course, I've played 16 seasons. Of course, I've seen guys that, dude, they can play, but they're like, I ain't playing. I know what they're trying to do. I've seen guys, bro, that's hurt and like, I'm not getting on tape. I'm not going out there because, see, bro, I've been there and seen guy like, dude, once you go out here and run and you show that you're able to run, they're gonna release your butt.
Damn.
Sure enough, go out there and they think, hey, look, they think that the team, they're running to show the team I'm back. Oh yeah, and so they go out there and work. Oh, I had a great workout. The team, the guy, the trainer, man, you look good. Great cut. They show them cutting, and they're filming it. And I'm like watching that film, and I just shake my head. The guy's like, "All right, come in." And you go through the workout the next day. Where you? I got cut. I'm like, bro, it's so. Look, I've seen it happen on both ends of the spectrum. So I've seen guys just like, hey, some guys want to get on the field, and some guys saying, "No way, I'm getting on the field. I'm faking injuries if I can get my guaranteed contract for the rest of the year." Don't want to play. I'm not going to hurt. Where the season's done. I'm a free agent. I'm not going to get hurt for anyone. So they shut it down. So it's tough. And this is no shot at Dexter. I'm just talking about in general. We're having a conversation, and people. I know the listeners like to hear some of these stories. So I've seen it all from every end of the spectrum.
No doubt. 888-957-9570 is the number. We are getting into the 49ers and the Giants Week 9 matchup at MetLife Stadium. 10 a.m. kick, and we got you set for the next hour here on the Kickoff Show. Before we got to hit a break, I want to sneak in Dre in Lemoore. Dre, what's up, man? Good morning. How we feeling?
I'm just being cool, like usual, guys. Myself, I'm like a screen door on a cool autumn day. I crack up and I tell people, be cool, and they say, I'm going to try. I go, you ain't got to try, brother. You got to be like a screen door on a nice, cool autumn day. Just let it flow through you. I'm a cool breeze. You know what I'm saying?
Right on, Dre.
So anyways, hey, I got a comment on the game, and I want to ask Lorenzo a professional question real quick, if I can.
Go ahead, Dre. Go ahead. Do you.
On the game. Oh, thank you. On the game, both sides of the ball, the line. Last week, terrible. They were running all over us, and we couldn't stop the run. And if we're going to blitz, you can't be having that soft coverage in the back. I think our DBs are better than average. They're young, sure. You want to protect them, but their quarterback was just eating it up. Everybody was wide open. The blitz couldn't get to them right away, and when you got wide open people like that, you got to stay on them. So anyways, and the young wide receivers we got, if they're on the team, use them. Throw them the ball, Try to get them the ball. Don't. Shanahan has a problem with just wanting to go with, with veterans. But I don't know, you guys. I think the Niners should win the Giants. They should beat them, and just play the damn ball. And Lorenzo.
My man.
Okay, brother. Remember when you guys Fresno State and you guys played USC, and was that your senior year when you beat USC? And was that what they call that?
Yeah, Freedom Bowl, the Freedom Bowl, MVP. Yes.
Okay, I think the first play of the game they had a handoff to you, and you ran for 8 yards or something like that, and I think it was Atwater, one of them guys that went to Denver, came and hit you, and I heard he whispered in your ear, "Welcome to the Pac-10." And then right after that, the announcer came over the speakers, 2nd down and 2. Welcome to the.
Oh, thank you, man. Thanks for the call. It's crazy. That's awesome. That's crazy. Back in the day, Jim Sweeney, the great late Jim Sweeney, coach at Fresno State, great guy. Love his family. Kevin Sweeney, great Bulldog. And he was our coach. And I remember we were playing against SC. And I think it was Willie McGinnis. Boom. I was like, boom, ran over a couple guys. It's boom. I'm in truck mode. You know, it's freaking, it's against SC. You're Fresno playing against SC. They said we should be their maid. So, the game was chippy all week, the conference and everything. And so it's, we're like, okay, everyone's giving us a chance. And I remember running them over, and all of a sudden, everyone's like, they jump up there, after first hit in the game, welcome to the Pac-10. And Sweeney makes the story. So Sweeney will go, and the announcer says 2nd and 2. Like, you guys are acting like welcome to the Pac-10. He just picked up 8 yards in second, and welcome to the Pac-10 like you did something to stop him. So he would tell that story, and no one told as well as great as Jim Sweeney. But it was a great victory for us back in the day to do that. But what he was talking about, Dre, I'd like to call. He's talking about when the Niners tried to manufacture a rush, meaning bringing a safety, a corner, extra guy. Because what you're trying to do at that particular time, you're trying to say, I'm going to bring one more guy that they can't block. Mm-hmm. So you're saying the pressure is going to get to the quarterback, and he's going to have to throw it, and we have to then knock it down and defend it. When you bring 1 or 2 extra guys, and the quarterback has to get rid of the ball, the defense is playing a little bit off, right? So what they're seeing, the defense now has an advantage because he's saying 1,001, so they can be playing off, and the quarterback's got to get rid of it. They can make a play on the ball sometimes before the receiver can because they're playing off and they can see it, and the pressure will get there. But if it's not there, and if you're playing soft coverage and you're playing too tight or whatever, and boom, you lose contact of the ball, and you give that up, you have to be on. That's what he's talking about. If you're going to play that type of defense and you're going to come after him, you got to get home. You got to make the quarterback throw the ball not on time, out of rhythm, because the receiver is out of rhythm. The quarterback is out of rhythm. That's what he's talking about when you're trying to come after him with an extra guy. So if the Niners are going to blitz and bring pressure and kind of sacrifice some of the integrity on the back end, because when you bring a guy, there's a vacant hole or space there, you better get home.
Well, and I do, coming up next, want to talk about what they do with Jackson Dart. This is a very interesting, talented, young rookie that has made a lot of good defenses look lesser than, better than the Niners, different than the Niners, and what's going to happen today that's going to determine the outcome between San Francisco and New York. We got 1 hour until kickoff, 10 a.m., and then, of course, later after the Niners and the Giants, you got overtime on 95.7 The Game with Grandy along with Bennett. But for right now, Giddings, Lorenzo, Neal, we're going to step aside and be back after this on the Kickoff Show. Coming your way the last hour next on 95.7 The Game.
It's being called the Golden Bonanza Sweepstakes. Thanks to our friends at Mako, the DP Show, proud to be a part of this, giving listeners a chance to join us in San Francisco for Super Week. That's right, a trip for 2, including round-trip coach airfare, 3 nights, hotel stay, ground transportation, and VIP access to see us do our show. If that's not enough, Mako also giving away 5 free paint jobs and 10 Mako and DP Show swag bags as runner-up prizes. It's really simple to enter. You go to danpatrick.com. The best news, you can enter daily for a chance to win. You can also receive a 25% off coupon to use at any Mako shop. Visit any Mako location now for a free estimate and redeem the coupon. Terms and conditions apply. Remember, go to danpatrick.com for official rules. No purchase necessary. Void in Alaska, Hawaii, and where prohibited. Open to contiguous U.S. D.C. residents 18 or over. Ends 11/23/25.
Stand Up to Cancer's vehicle donation program makes it easy to turn your unwanted vehicle into funding to support innovative cancer research. This research leads to new treatments for patients right now. Donate your car today. Visit standuptocancer.org/cars to learn more.
Attention! Have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers, so don't wait. If you owe $10,000, $20,000, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-848-2299. 800-848-2299. Again, that's 800-848-2299.
Red and Gold Game Day starts at Laughing Monk Brewing. Park for free. Enjoy amazing food, ice-cold beer, and every game on TV. Catch 95.7 The Game's pregame show. Then hop on the free shuttle straight to the stadium. Sign up now at 957thegame.com.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with AutoPay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just one cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here.
Based on analysis by Ookla of speed test intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025. Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 and monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at tmobile.com.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. That's Cars with a K to donate your car today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too? Go to carsforkids.org. That's carsforkids.org.
Visit Friedman's Appliance in Pleasant Hill to see the full selection of Thermador appliances. Thermador provides a range of possibilities, from refrigeration to dishwashers or cooking with steam or convection. Come into Friedman's Appliance, and right now, you can receive up to 3 complimentary gifts with qualifying purchase. See all Thermador appliances displayed beautifully in live working vignettes at Friedman's Appliance in Pleasant Hill and at friedmansappliance.com.
You're listening to 95.7 The Game, KGMZ FM in HD1 San Francisco, on Odyssey Sports Station. Always live on the free Odyssey app, Twitch, and YouTube. Powered by First NorCal Credit Union.
Okay. Here we go. Cam's back.
Now back to the Kickoff Show on 95.7 The Game.
I got to be honest with you,
I was waiting, buddy. I was waiting. He didn't give me nothing. This is about time he tried to break this swag.
I saw Cam yesterday. He also runs our Warrior stuff.
Yeah.
And he was telling me,
right.
I got something for Low tomorrow.
Oh,
I got something loaded for Low.
Oh, here we go.
He always gets you. I mean, even at 9 a.m., he always gets you rolling.
In the middle of the night, 2 dead soldiers, they got up to fight. Back to back, they faced each other, and they drew their swords, and they shot each other. Said, if you don't believe my lie is true, why don't you ask the blind man who saw it too? I'm rolling.
Whoa! Low Neal in the house. Oh, my goodness.
Here we go. Bang, bang.
Well, yeah, the real question is, can we get the Niners in New York into the win column? Because this is a team, Lo, that has not lost back-to-back games all season. I have a hard time believing that it's going to start today, and it's as much about the Giants as it is the Niners. But when you look at this New York Giants team, a team that, yes, they're 2-6, but oddly enough, their 2 victories are against quality teams. They beat the Chargers in Jackson Dart's first start, also a home game, and then they won also at home on a Thursday night short week against Philadelphia and knocked down the Eagles. That was the first time they played them. They got cratered by them last week. So the Giants, to me, have been an unpredictable group, an offense that is run by this, kind of multifaceted, versatile quarterback, can throw, can also use his legs, which has given the Niners fits. You talked about C.J. Stroud last week. And a defense that is weak against the pass, but is a team that can also make some things happen with the amount of pass rushers that they have.
Yeah, it's a team that when it wants to play defensively, they can get after you. They got a front four, they can go. They got some elite pass rushers. It's just a team that's shown some inconsistency and some vulnerability. But Dart is a very, very talented and capable quarterback. When you watch him in the pocket and the things that he can do with his legs, it's pretty amazing. And this is going to be some tall cotton for the Niners to slow him down, because he's going to make some plays with his leg. He's that athletic. He's that type of a player. I just want to see if the Niners can bait him. Can you get him to throw an interception? Can you make one bad play? Can you make this guy turn a bad play into a worse play? Can you, he's going to hurt you with his legs at times, but you just can't let him continue to do it. They don't have their running back, Scottaboo. So what are you going to do defensively, offensively, to play collective football to get this win? And it starts in the trenches. That's where it starts. The Giants can get after quarterback. Saw the way they did to Herbert. You saw at times they can put pressure on the quarterback. But they don't have a great run defense. You saw Saquon hit them for 65-yard touchdown. They've given up runs. There's going to be some gaps. There are going to be some opportunities in the run game. But you have to establish your will, and you have to play bully football and try to break this Giants' will. This Giants team is athletic. They're spontaneous. They play with their heads on fire, but they make a lot of mistakes. You've seen it. We've all seen it. It's a young team, but the Niners have to play hard, and they have to play fast, and they got to come off the bus with their head on fire.
Yeah, penalties have hurt the Giants. Inexperience has hurt the Giants. Jackson Dart has turned the ball over 4 times between picks and fumbles throughout his right now his 5 starts that he's had at the helm. A pretty good 8-3 touchdown to interception ratio, but a sub 60% completion percentage. This is a guy that he can take over a game, Low, if you let him. And I think that the Niners have had success against these mobile quarterbacks in the past when they have done a good job of caging them.
Right.
Not necessarily, trying to bring extra guys and sort of, forcing the quarterback out, but make Jackson Dart today. I think this is the key for me and what I want to see from Robert Saleh. Make him beat you with his arm.
Yeah.
When he has to and I think that's what Philly did against him last week. They kept him in the pocket. He gets a little jittery, especially when Scottaboo went down and there was a lack of a running game. You saw him try to make more plays than he was capable of, and he was a guy that is not the most accurate with the ball and is going to put it in harm's way. So I think when he's allowed to use his legs, he's extremely dangerous, and he can really hurt you. But when he's just a passer, the Niners have, I think, a solid chance.
Yeah, I think when he just becomes a passer, you force him to go through his reads, and you can disguise some stuff, make it look like 2, and then go to, 3 across and drop down to cover 3, or you do some 4. I think you can disguise certain things, but you don't have to necessarily sack him, but be around his feet. When put the pressure on him, keep him in the pocket, like you're saying, but there's arms, there's things, make him feel uncomfortable in the pocket, like you're saying. Don't give him a clean pocket with a clean launch point. You have to, if you're not going to sack, get close to him. Make him frustrated. Make him start patting his feet. Make him take his eyes off of the field to off his receivers downfield. Put the pressure, collapse it in his pocket, in the pocket, make him look there back there, and all of a sudden he feels something, so he's got to look for somewhere to run. He takes his eyes off his work and off of the receivers down the field. That's what you got to do to a dart. You can't let him have a clean pocket. You can't let him escape and run around, move the pocket. You can't let them start establishing a run because then they want to boot him out, move the pocket for him, and then he can he can hurt you with his legs and with the ball. Keep him in there. Don't get fooled on those counters and those bootlegs because you can look for the Giants to do some handoff and then boom, boot him out. So now he can, in a situation where the defense is now playing on their heels because now he's got the ball, he can run or he can pass. So I think it's going to be big, like you said, corral him in the pocket, but make sure you're going after him. Don't just corral him. Make that pocket shrink that he takes his eyes off downfield.
And then the other side of the ball is, I think you saw the template last week for how you can attack this Giants defense, and it's on the ground. They're going to give up explosives, whether it's in the run game or through the pass. They're a team that allows, 26th in terms of points allowed per game, this Giants defense. You can hurt them.
Yeah.
Christian McCaffrey, I don't see a second straight dud for him. I mean, this is a game, and I realized last week a lot of it was just the fact that he didn't get the ball.
Right, didn't get the touches.
But in terms of total yardage, that was the lowest of his Niners tenure, certainly, but the lowest, you got to go all the way back to his rookie season, the last time that Christian McCaffrey had less than 50 scrimmage yards in a football game. So a second consecutive week for McCaffrey of not getting touches, not getting yards, to me, I don't see. And I think the fact that even Saquon, you called it last week, Saquon has not had a great year statistically. He started slow for Philly,
right.
But New York is a team that he was revved up against. Takes that first one to the house. The safety comes down into the box, takes a bad angle, cuts around him, gone. Christian McCaffrey is going to have a good chance today to do some things, and I do think the Niners understand that against a defense where you have to keep the pass rush off the quarterback, McCaffrey in that run game needs to be a lot better.
Yeah, I think this is a game of Kyle Shanahan saying, guys, bring your big boy pads. Don't leave the locker room without your big boy pads. We're going to run the ball. Kittle's going to be involved in this thing. Cal Huchtek's going to be involved in this game. I think this is a game that you're going to try to show some physical dominance. This is a game that, like you just alluded to, you have to be able to run the ball. And it just can't be McCaffrey. You have to have those other guys. Guys have to go in there and say, look, I want us to run. We're going to pop a run or two. This Niner team today, I say they will have 2 runs. They will have 3 to 4 runs over 10 yards. That's what you can do in the run game. But you got to stay consistent. And you got to believe, and you got to push, you got to create new line of scrimmage. It's going to be interesting just to see what the offense can do in the run game because, like you just alluded to, this Giants team have given up points, and they've given up a lot of yards in the run game. You have to have a mindset. That's the thing. When you're running the ball, it's a mindset. This team, the organization, the players, from the trainer to the bus boy, to the bus driver, everyone, it's like we're running the ball. We are going to run the ball today. You have to set your mind, and that's what you're going to have to do. If you want to beat the Giants today, you have to have over 120 yards rushing. I'm just telling you. You cannot go out there and say, you have to establish some type of running game. I really believe that the Niners can have a big day running the ball, comparable to that game they won a couple nights ago in that Sunday night game against the Atlanta Falcons, running the ball. That's when the Niners at its best, when it's able to be effective running the ball.
And you're right. When they've had 120 yards or more this year, they are 2-0. Now, it's oddly enough, they have only done it 2 times, and they still find a way to go 3-3 in those other games. But, I mean, when they crack the century mark on the ground, they win. And it's as much about it as yards as I think it's also about total rushes. You know, when McCaffrey is upwards of around 15 to 20, when Robinson's getting involved, when they're also getting other players involved in the run game, this is an offense that is going to chew clock, that is going to control possession, and that is also going to keep their defense fresh, which, as we look at Robert Saleh and the task that he has with this team, it feels like it's getting more difficult every single week because you don't have Huff now. You don't have really your only pass rusher. They go and they make a trade for Keon White this week from New England. They send a 6th-round pick. They send a 7th-round pick. They get a 7th-round pick back. They send a 6th to get Keon White. He's a player that's just basically, right now, an added pass rusher. But how do you create disruption? How do you make a quarterback feel uncomfortable in the pocket when you don't have a ton of playmakers. You know, I think that looking at last week, in the past couple of weeks without Nick Bosa and now without Fred Warner, it's not so much that I think their secondary is poor or is necessarily bad. It's that, well, you got to cover for an extra 2 seconds now. Right. Whereas before, when guys were getting the quarterback, all you got to do is keep keep your man for 2 to 3 seconds. Now they got to defend him for 5 to 6 seconds. That's a lot more difficult.
It's impossible. It really is. When you talk about 5-6 seconds, it's impossible to guard a receiver that long. Then that's when people say, "Hey, I got lockdown corner." Well, show me a team that don't have a good pass rush. You don't have a lockdown corner, and that's like a lot of teams. A lot of cornerbacks get paid big money is because it's predicated on the guys up front. If you don't have those guys up front to put pressure on the quarterback and make the quarterback throw some bad balls, you're not going to be what you call a lockdown corner. You talk about Keon, a guy comes over from New England. You brought him over, not necessarily going to go get more passion. You brought him over because stability. You needed more depth, but you needed a guy who knows how to play like a pro. You need a guy that's going to bring not just a presence on the field, but he's going to bring leadership. He's going to bring fundamentals. He's a fundamentally sound football player. So you brought in a guy that can rush the passer, not necessarily great, but it's the other things. I think you got a guy that can help guys and understand, hey, look, we're in this thing. He knows that this Niner team is still a playoff team. New England's a playoff team. So he's like, what am I going to do? So this was a good trade for the Niners. It's a solid blue-collar chip, blue chip player, guy that's going to work. He's going to bring his lunch pail to work every day. He's going to make guys better. He's going to give you his all. There's no flash and burn. He's just going to line up, play football, play his technique, set the edge, do the things he needs to do for this team to get better.
And it also begs the question, look, the Niners made their first trade. They brought in a pass rusher. You know, what do they do before the deadline this upcoming week? This is the last game that they have to figure out if they want to add, potentially if they want to sell, though I don't necessarily see that, or if they basically want to stand pat. You know, I think that's another reason why this is such a swing game, because 5-4, yes, a lot different than 6-3, but at 6-3, you're still in a wild card position. That's a spot where I think John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan could look around the league and say, all right, there's one guy here, you know, maybe not a big boy, but there's a guy that can help us keep this pace that we're on right now to get to the playoffs. I think if they win this game today, we do see them make a move before the deadline. If they don't win this game low, I'm not sure if there's reinforcements coming.
Yeah, I don't know either, but I think if you win this game, there might be some guys in New York that may be jumping on the plane flying back with the Niners. You think about some of their defensive linemen, some of their guys that could possibly fit this mold. I think that you will still continue to be buyers. I think that you're too close not to. You're right there in the thick of things. So I think they're going to pursue this, and they're going to get in the game to see if they can pick up a player here or there. You're right on the cuffs. You're in the thick of this. It's going to be interesting to see what happens today, because if you win this game, the Giants might turn into sellers, and there may be something to grab.
Yeah, it could be a defensive lineman. I mean, do you still like? It seems to me that defensive lineman is the one position that everyone can use, everyone needs more of, but there seems to also be an abundance of. Like, you're not finding offensive linemen. You're usually not finding, linebackers, secondary guys. Defensive lineman is the position to
it is. D front, there's guys up on the interior line, they come a dime a dozen, but big offensive tackles and guards that can play and play well and efficient, you don't find those guys. They don't grow in trees, because most of the offensive linemen guys, it's hard to find them because the things that they have to do, they're usually at a disadvantage. Offensive linemen are usually going against defensive linemen who's usually more athletic than offensive linemen. So the offensive linemen you find, you definitely want to keep. I just look at this team, we're talking about this giant game. You understand the implications of it, how big this game is, why I think the Niners are going to come out with their head, with like their hair's on fire. It's a big game. They need to find a way to win this game, kind of that must situation, that pivotal swing game we just alluded to. But I think far more why I think the Niners are going to continue to be buyers and suitors, Nicky Bosa. I think when you look at what's going on with Nick Bosa and the injuries, 2 times blew out the knee, same knee, all the things that's going on with this body. This guy's not a little guy. This is an elite pass rusher, a high motor, high functioning type of pass rusher. He's going to lose a step. Is he going to lose his fastball? I don't know, but something's going to be a little bit off. So what are you doing? You can't get a pass rush now. Nicky Bosa last year didn't necessarily have a great year.
Yeah, he was solid, but not great.
Right, for Nick Bosa's expectation. How much is that because of injury, the wear and tear? So now you're asking the guy next year to come back and just be Bosa? You have to look at this free agency and the draft, and right now going into the trade deadline. You have to look at this and say, I don't mind getting a player that has 1 to 2 years left on his deal, because we don't know what we're going to get in Nick Bosa. This is a very, very serious issue. You have an elite pass rusher that's already had 2 major knee surgeries. This Niner team will continue to look for a trade and continue to try to bolster their pass rush. And it may be getting a guy that has 2 years left on his deal. I think if you get someone like that, you got to get a safety blanket, because you don't know if Nick Bosa is going to come back 100%. You better make sure you get someone.
Well, it's interesting you say that, because I feel like the last couple of years, everybody has been looking for the Trent Williams replacement, right? And he's been healthy. This year he hasn't been, I think, as great as he's been, because he's one of the greatest left tackles of all time. But you're also saying now that Nick Bosa might be a guy that you have to look at and say, how much does he have left in the tank? Not because he isn't great when he's healthy, but because he's now had 2 ACL surgeries. This is one that he's partially torn in high school. And you are right. 2022 Defensive Player of the Year, 18.5 sacks. First team All-Pro, obviously. Got paid. Since then, played 17 games in 2023, but 10.5 sacks. Production a little lower. Last year, 14 games played, 9 sacks. And this year, he will only play 3 games. So I do think you might be onto something there, Lo.
I hate to say it. He's a descending player. And that's what's tough, because I don't like, and this is no slight on Nick Bosa. You and I'm not hating on him. I hope he gets all of his money and all those things. But football's about winning and losing, and it's about putting the best people out on the field. And there's no loyalty. There's no loyalty to us players. There's no loyalty necessarily to coaches. It's just like, this is what have you done for me lately? You don't live off your laurels. You don't live off the past. It's about right now. Nick Bosa right now is a liability for the type of money that he's going to get and kind of receive. It's going to be tough for this Niners team. If you're going to pay a guy $20, $15, $18, $20 million a year, and he's only going to get you 5, 6, maybe 8, 9 sacks, that's not going to cut it. And now you're banking on. And here's the deal. To be fair to him, I'm trying to be fair to this player. Next year, he may not get 8 sacks. He's going to be coming off a knee again. So it's like, you better find someone that can go, because usually it's not the rookies that comes in the league usually and tear it up, get 12, 15 sacks. That's rare. It happens, but that's not the usual. Offensive tackle, those guys, you got to keep that draft capital to go get a dominant offensive line to replace Trent or whatever, left or right tackle. You need that in the draft if you're drafting early. Defensive lineman, elite defensive lineman, you can get through the trades. You can get through trade deadlines. You can find on other team. You cannot find elite offensive linemen through trades and do that stuff. Those guys, you usually are homegrown. You get those guys through the draft.
I think some fantastic points. And look, Nick Bosa is out for the season, and Fred Warner's out for the season. The Niners are not just going to, grow another first-team All-Pro, a Hall of Fame edge rusher, a Hall of Fame linebacker, but could they acquire one at the deadline? Might be depending on the result today. Again, about a half hour until kickoff. New York, San Francisco, the 49ers, and the Giants at MetLife Stadium. Week 9, the Niners trying to move to 6-3, and of course hold Jackson Dart and the Giants to a 2-7 record. We got one more segment coming up on the Kickoff Show. Evan Giddings and Lorenzo Neal. We're going to go around the league. The full slate coming your way. And who is it? Howard Losell might make a return as well. You were on fire last week, by the way. You were on fire last week.
He's heated up.
We got to go through some of those because he was handing out winners left and right. All right, a reminder, next week, back at Laughing Monk Brewing in Sunnyvale, the LA Rams are in town. Big rivalry matchup for the Niners, and you got to be there as well. We got great food, great drinks, great games in the parking lot, and a free shuttle to and from the stadium. Lo and I are going to be there. The early games on for you to watch. If you're going to the game, again, multiple shuttles. They are free. All you got to do is go to 957thegame.com. That's 957thegame.com. Click on the Kickoff Show graphic and the Eventbrite link to sign up today. One more segment left on the Kickoff Show today. Giddings and Lowe back after this, 95.7 The Game.
Bang, bang!
Change is always happening. It's part of life. And when it comes to music, change is all around us. Songs are rewritten. Classics are remixed. Bands and artists come and go. Even our taste in music changes. Here at Xfinity, we know there's still good in keeping some things the same. That's why we want to do our part with a 5-year price guarantee on our internet. It means no matter what changes, you get 5 years of the most reliable Wi-Fi with our best equipment included for a price that stays exactly the same. Surprised? Life is full of them. One internet price, 5 years, guaranteed. Learn more at xfinity.com/deals. Restrictions apply. New residential customers only. Taxes and fees extra and subject to change. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA. Fixed Broadband Experience Report, August 2024.
The NBA season tips off, and so does DraftKings' newest fantasy game. DraftKings Pick 6 is the easiest way to play for big wins, with every possession giving you a shot at real money. Here's how to play. Just pick more or less on 2 or more stats, and unlock the upside every game brings. The better your picks, the bigger your payout. Pick 6 is available in your state. Plus, new DraftKings customers can get $50 in bonus picks with just a $5 entry on your first pick set. Don't just watch basketball, cash in. Download the DraftKings Pick 6 app now and use code THEGAME. That's code THEGAME. Play just $5, get $50 in Pick 6 bonus picks. Make the call. Ride the upside. In partnership with DraftKings Pick 6. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Must be 18 and over. Age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void where prohibited. 1 per new customer. Bonus awarded as non-withdrawable Pick 6 bonus picks that expire in 14 days. Limited time offer. See terms at pick6.draftkings.com/promos.
95.7 The Game and Great Clips have teamed up for the new basketball season. We want our listeners to look fresh with a great haircut from Great Clips. Each week, we'll pick a lucky winner to score a gift card. For a chance to win, courtesy of Great Clips, enter online at 957thegame.com.
Sports fans, listen up. 1 in 8 men will be diagnosed with prostate cancer, and bladder leaks can be a side effect. That's why Depend is teaming up with the Prostate Cancer Foundation to encourage screening, because health is a long game, and it's yours to win. Now here's the cool part. Through November, Depend is contributing up to $300,000 to prostate cancer research by donating 25 cents for every purchase of Depend shields, guards, and Real Fit products. Void in Mississippi. Learn more at depend.com.
Attention! Have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers, so don't wait. If you owe $10,000, $20,000, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-848-2299. 800-848-2299. Again, that's 800-848-2299.
At Bank of America, we asked our people, how do you take ownership of your career?
I'm able to grow my way by putting the priorities that I have for my career first.
I thrive on being a leader who's behind the team, not in front of the team.
Every few years, I'm being re-energized because I get to do something different and learn something new.
See how our teammates are growing in their careers at bankofamerica.com/great place to work. What would you like the power to do? Bank of America, proud to be an equal opportunity employer. When businesses thrive, communities score. That's why Bank of America is the official bank of FIFA World Cup here in the Bay Area. And our more than 110 local business specialists are ready to help your business win. What would you like the power to do? Learn more at bankofamerica.com/local business. Bank of America, official bank of FIFA World Cup 2026. Bank of America Corporation, all rights reserved.
Did you know that most people wait 6 or 7 years before they buy a new TV? That's a lot of time in front of one TV. So why not get one of the best sets for the next 7 years, like one of the top-rated Samsung, LG, or Sony models? Too expensive? What if you could get up to $1,000 trade-in for your old set? Who would do a stupid deal like this? Right now, at Video Only, you can get big bucks for your old set as a trade-in and a hot price on the new models. Don't be sorry. Check out Video Only.
Visit Friedman's Appliance in Pleasant Hill to see the full selection of Thermador appliances. Thermador provides a range of possibilities, from refrigeration to dishwashers or cooking with steam or convection. Come into Friedman's Appliance, and right now, you can receive up to 3 complimentary gifts with qualifying purchase. See all Thermador appliances displayed beautifully in live working vignettes at Friedman's Appliance in Pleasant Hill and at friedmansappliance.com.
Now back to the Kickoff Show on 95.7 The Game.
Half hour until kickoff. Just having a fun time. A little daylight savings. Low let me know I actually gained an hour. And I just realized, Cam, that's why I'm feeling a little more fresh today. I thought I was going to be down and out, but I'm back up off the canvas. I'm back up off the canvas. And so the Niners, they're trying to get back up off the canvas as well.
Oh, yeah. They're going to get off the canvas today, and I'm excited, man. Me, you, and I are going to start working out together. You want to hang out?
I know.
You're going to do a personal. We're going to.
I'm a little scared, Cam.
He called me out, Cam. He wants to work out with the big fella. I told him we're going to go crazy.
Well, so Lowe walks in every single Sunday. He's got the gallon of water, so you know he's on his P's and Q's. By the way, Cam also rolls with the gallon as well, and so my man's he's got it in shape too. I'm the only one that doesn't have a gallon in this place. I got to find one right now. But Lowe has been just walking in looking like a lean machine as of late. And I'm just saying, can I get some of that? Like, can I get it? Just a little osmosis. Can it just rub off just a little bit, man?
Absolutely, E. You're looking good. I can tell. And here's the deal. I wouldn't even came at you, but I saw that you've been working. I can see. My eyes don't lie, and they're telling me you've been working, Ev. So I'm like, man, I want to get a workout. So we're gonna come in. You and I come and do a show. After the show, we're gonna head to the gym. You and I. And we're going to do 45 minutes. I told you we're going to give 800 reps in 45 minutes. You and I, 800 reps. It's going to be nonstop, no breaks. We're going to go. I want to see what's in you. I want to test you and see if you really with the bang, bang Niner game rolling, baby.
Oh, man. Well, I can't wait. Part of me is excited and part of me is scared as hell. All right, one thing I'm not scared of, though, is going through these games. Because last week when we did this, and this is one of the reasons why I love the 10 a.m.s, we get to go through the full slate and talk about how we feel about each team, each franchise, obviously leading up to the Niners, who kick off in about 25 minutes in New York City against the Giants. All right, so last week, Lostradamus was on his you-know-what. He had the Jets winning, who were 0-6. He had the Ravens winning with a backup quarterback, who are also now back and looking like a really nice team in the AFC North. And what was the other game that you were on top of that was... I mean, this man might have gone perfect last week.
I think I missed one or two in there, but I was hot. Let me start off by saying Presley, Levi, and Hudson, I'm going to go on a roll. Is it going to be point spread 6, 7, 6, 7? It's going to be 7. It's always the higher. Just ready to rock and roll. You set me up, E, and let's go at it. I'm going to be hotter this week than I was last week, bro.
All right, the 10 a.m. games start in Cincinnati. Joe Flacco and the 3-5 Bengals hosting Caleb Williams, who fell at the hands of those Ravens. They tossed the games out. They got rid of the pinball. They got rid of the Xbox, and they took down Chicago. Do the Bears have what it takes to go into Cincy and win that game low?
The Bears. I'll tell you right now, Joey Flacco's looking for a little redemption. His defense let him down last week. The guy was amazing throwing the ball around the yard. Defense got to show up for Joey Flacco and the Cincinnati Bengals. I like Joey Flacco. Give me the Bengals.
I also like Cincinnati in this game. To me, the Bears are a team I just cannot quite put my finger on. Caleb Williams is the kind of quarterback that'll hit a 35-foot three-point shot and then blow a layup. And I just don't know how I can trust a guy like that right now, especially with their running back DeAndre Swift out for this game. He's been fantastic this season. I'm with you. I like Cincinnati as a home dog. All right, we go to Detroit. A lot of big spreads this week. We were looking at this and thinking, has there ever been 3, potentially 4 double-digit favorites in a single week this season? I can't recall. Detroit, 9.5 has moved above 9.5 at home against J.J. McCarthy, who's making his return on the heels of Carson Wentz going out for the season for the Minnesota Vikings. Minnesota at Detroit.
I'll tell you right now, the Minnesota Vikings are traveling into Detroit, the Motor City. I like when I see that because we know the quarterback of the Lions is playing lights out. He's throwing the ball all over the field. Give me the Lions. The Motor City is going to continue the roll.
They should. They absolutely should. They're 3-0 at home. I believe they remain perfect, as that's a tough place to play, especially when Detroit's offense is absolutely humming. All right, Green Bay, an even larger game, 12.5 at home against the Carolina Panthers. Last week did not have their starting quarterback in Bryce Young, fell now to 500. Carolina looking at a road tilt at Lambeau. Do they leap enough to win the game, though?
Carolina is not going to do the Lambeau leap. Not once, not twice. They're going to get in the end zone because the Carolina Panthers got Bryce Young back at quarterback. But I love what Love's been able to do. He went head-to-head with the great you-know-who Aaron Rodgers last week in the Pittsburgh Steelers. Able to win a shootout there. I like the Green Bay Packers in a rout.
It should be, yeah. The Packers should absolutely own this game. And Jordan Love made a statement on Sunday Night Football. That is a team to be reckoned with, 5-1-1, and an early Super Bowl favorite from one Howard Losell is back in action here today. All right, Tennessee at home, 1-7 against the Los Angeles Chargers, 5-3, nice. And an opportunity for Justin Herbert to move to 6-3 after a little skid. They're beginning to get a bit more healthy. The Chargers also another double-digit favorite, and they're in Nashville.
The Chargers, you gotta love the Chargers. We can no longer say San Diego Superchargers. It's the LA Chargers going into a place that I called home at one time. The home of the Music City Miracle, where your boy caught the ball and pitched it back to Wycheck and Wycheck over to Dyson. I was a part of that, Cam. Yes, I was. But guess what? The Chargers are going to go into my place, into the dirty Tennessee, and work them. And it's going to be ugly. They're going to cover the spread. The Chargers are getting ready to get on a roll and do something special. Just too much for young Ward to keep up with the Chargers.
Now, it's funny because I remember the first time we were at Laughing Monk, and the boss asked if you could throw a football. And before you even picked the pigskin up, the response was, "Did you see me in the Music City Miracle?"
That part, baby. That part.
Did you see me?
Did you see me?
Perfect spiral. All right, on to New England and Gillette Stadium, where the Patriots at 6-2, and Drake May looking like an early second season splendid superstar is going to be hosting the Atlanta Falcons. The Falcons, a team that after the Sunday Night Football defeat at the hands of your San Francisco 49ers, absolutely routed by the Miami Dolphins. Didn't have Michael Penix. He will be back and active today, but I don't think it's enough against the Patriots. This New England team, Mike Vrabel, Drake May, they look like a completely different franchise and one of a few years ago as opposed to the one of last season. Give me the Patriots.
Absolutely. Same church, same pew. Vrabel has this team rolling, and you look at young Drake. watching this quarterback throw the ball all over the field. He's amazing. He's throwing it short. He's throwing it deep. Look for the Patriots to pull out that motorboat and just motorboat these boys today.
And now we'll get to a couple of juicy 10 a.m. games. An Indianapolis Colts team that has looked just utterly unstoppable this year. They've scored 40-plus points in 6 of their 8 games. They're the number 1 offense in football. They got the number 1 running back in football, maybe the number 1 quarterback in football. Mac Jones' long-lost brother Daniel is going to Pittsburgh to take on the Steelers, who, as Lowe said, lost on Sunday Night Football to the Green Bay Packers. I think that the Steelers are a good team. I don't think they're a great team, and that defense has been awfully leaky as of late. Indianapolis, they're 7-1 low, and I know everyone's been waiting for the other shoe to drop. This team is legit, and I like them.
They are legit. Daniel Jones right now should be the front runner for the MVP of the National Football League.
Ooh.
When you think about Daniel Jones and what he's done this year, it's been legendary. Here's a guy that's risen his career from the ashes. Why shouldn't he be the MVP? Why shouldn't the Indianapolis Colts be ranked the number 1 team in the National Football League? You look at their record. But I'm telling you right now, they're going into Steeler country, and they're going to take a L today. The Indianapolis Colts, that's my pick. That's my upset special of the day. The Steelers. Those men got embarrassed last week against you-know-who. They went out there and they absolutely stunk it up. They played at home. You let Green Bay come to town and absolutely slap you around the field. They got the most highest paid defense in the league. Everyone's laughing at them. Mike Tomlin's job is on the line. They have to show up and have to show out today. That's why I'm going with the Steelers.
That's the upset of the day. Well, you heard him last week. This man has been on fire. And then maybe the closest game outside of course, San Francisco and the Giants, which we will get to at the end, Denver at Houston. I think this is a fascinating game. The Texans, are they for real, or are they just a team that's a blip on the radar? They're 3-4. I think they're better than people give them credit for. And I think on the heels of Denver's big win last week against the Cowboys in blowout fashion, I like Houston at home in this one, Low. I think they can get to the quarterback. I think they can disrupt a very good Bo Nix, and I think this is an upset that I'm looking at here at home.
Oh, boy. This is going to be a ball game. I think this game should have been the prime time. These two teams can get after it. These two teams want to play some defense. They want to hit you in the mouth. They want to try to establish their run. They got great pass rushers. This is going to be David and David. They're not David and Goliath. This is David against David. These are 2 equally matched teams. 2 quarterbacks are trying to find their way. Young quarterbacks. I like this game a lot. And I'm with you. I want to go Houston. I really want Houston to win because I don't like what Denver's doing because, I like my Chargers. So I'm going to go with Houston with the heart. But I just think Bo Nix and this offense, the running game, how Denver's able to run, they just got so many weapons. It's hard to slow them down. They can throw the ball. They can run the ball. They playing with consistency. They can get after you. I want the Houston. I'm going to take Houston. But don't surprise me. Denver comes in there and beat up on them.
They've been utterly fantastic as of late. All right, let's move to the 1 o'clock slate. First, Las Vegas against Jacksonville. Now, for different reasons, this is a close game. This is a little bit different than Houston against Denver. Why do I like the Raiders at home? I don't know why, Lo. I couldn't tell you why. This is a team that whenever you watch them, they're going to let you down in some way, shape, or form. Yeah. If you pick them to lose, they're going to win. If you pick them to win, they're going to lose. I like the Raiders today at home against Jacksonville.
God, I just don't have any feel. Jacksonville's been so inconsistent. You look at the quarterback. When he came in, Trevor Lawrence coming out of college, only lost a couple games in college. 1 year, didn't know what it felt like to lose in college, and just got in the pros and just been mediocre. It just hasn't really turned that corner to show the dominance, waiting for him to put his spin and put his stamp on it. The inconsistency, the ups and downs of the Jacksonville Jaguars, for you to even say it could be the Raiders to win and the point spread, Vegas is saying the Raiders, oh my goodness, that scares me away from Jacksonville. Even though I think they should win, I'm going to go with the Raiders too.
I'm kind of with you. It feels like a game that whatever you think is going to happen, the opposite is going to happen, which is why I like the Raiders. All right, then we move to the other biggest game in terms of spread of the week. In the National Football League in 2025, the Los Angeles Rams at home are 14.5-point favorites. This ain't Utah, Colorado. This ain't Fresno State, Boise State.
Right.
This is
big upset.
This
Fresno
is
State.
Rams Saints, and the Rams off a bye week, getting Puka Nacua back, are going up against a rookie quarterback for the New Orleans Saints in his first ever start, and I just don't see how he's going to do it on the road.
I don't either. Puka Nacua. He's coming back, but not only is he back, there's another guy on the other side we know is the Devontae Adams. He's been absolutely lighting it up for the Rams. The Rams will roll coming off a bye week. They're going to eat up those Saints. Who that saying they're going to beat them Saints? The Rams say they're going to beat them, and they're going to cover that 14.5.
Yeah, they're absolutely going to throttle them, I believe. And then potentially an AFC Conference Championship preview. I mean, a matchup that has been, interestingly enough, owned by the Bills in the regular season, but owned by the Chiefs when the chips have been on the table. KC at Buffalo. The Bills coming off a bounce-back victory. The Chiefs looking like perhaps, even at 5-3, maybe the best team in the NFL. This is a title weight fight, and probably the reason why some of those early 10 a.m. games we talked about that looked like great matchups are not being featured in prime time, because Buffalo and KC, the matchup that everyone is going to have their eyes on this afternoon.
Oh, no question. Buffalo and the Chiefs, it's always a dandy, and we know Mahomes and Josh Allen, they don't get along, so you might as well get it on. And both these two quarterbacks, they are prolific. They know how to move their crowd. They know how to get their players playing at a high level. I just think it's hard for the Chiefs to go into Buffalo. Josh Allen plays with that swagger. He can run over you. He can run through you. He can go over the top of you. And you know, anytime 4th and 1 or 4th and 2 on the goal line, the big fella's unstoppable. For that reason only, I'm taking the kid from Fireball. I'm taking him because I'm selfish. I'm taking him because I like Josh Allen. He's from the Central Valley. Give me Buffalo and the Bills.
I like KC in this game. Your boy's been 4-1 against Mahomes in the regular season. Josh Allen has, but I think this is a different KC team that's beginning to remind us why they have made the AFC Championship every single season.
The running back's not playing today?
No, he's not. But they got Kareem Hunt. Kareem Hunt is just the guy that will not go away every single year.
He won't.
He comes back.
He's like a cockroach. He keeps getting. He just can't kill him.
Continues to score touchdowns. All right, Washington hosting Seattle. This is the Sunday night game, and I'm gonna be honest. On the heels of Buffalo, KC, on Houston, Denver, I feel like the Sunday night game is just gonna be just to relax. Let's settle in and watch some nice football at the end of the day, because I think Seattle is a team that, though they are only favored by 2.5, that's a team that with Jaden Daniels coming back this week, I still think has enough to get over on the Commanders. I like Seattle. I think they understand the importance of, they got to keep pace with the Rams. They're coming off the bye week. They want to keep the Niners in their place as well. And Seattle in the NFC West continues to look like one of the best, if not the best, low divisions in football.
Yeah, Seattle's playing great, and I love the quarterback. I love what he's been able to do. Love that he's got what he's been able to do, the journey in which he's done it, the road in which he's traveled. And now you got rid of Geno Smith. You bring him in, and look what he's doing for the Seattle Seahawks team. Love it. Love what Seattle's. They run the ball. They're playing decent defense. But I hold it press right there. I'm still taking the Commanders. I think the way that they got beat up last week, they got embarrassed. They're playing at home. It's Sunday night, under the lights. Jaden Daniels comes back. Give me the Washington Commanders.
And then moving on to Monday, Dallas at home against Arizona. Potentially a big game for Dallas, trying to get back to 500 and push right now the Niners, who are in 7th place, towards that final wild card spot. The Cowboys got absolutely hammered last week in Denver. Felt like they gave up a touchdown on damn near every single drive. That defense is last in football, but the offense has been close to first. I like Dak Prescott on Monday Night Football to get back into the win column against an Arizona group that, while they're a bit more dangerous, I think their 2-5 record reveals, I don't think they got enough to go into D and beat the Cowboys.
How about the them Cowboys. I love the Dallas Cowboys. They're going to absolutely spank Arizona Cardinals. You look at the Arizona Cardinals, the inconsistency at the quarterback position, the inconsistency on defense, the inconsistency on offense. The Cowboys, yes, their defense has been a sieve, but that Dak Prescott, he's been lighting it up. Yes, Denver slapped them around last week before. They're going to find a way to bounce back. Give me the Cowboys. How about them Cowboys and Big D? I like them Monday night under the lights.
I like them too. And then finally, the game of the week here in the Bay. San Francisco, New York, 49ers, Giants. The 49ers at 5-3. 3 road wins, by the way, quietly. Coming off that last loss against Houston. Back-to-back 10 a.m. games. The Giants 2-6. They beat the Chargers. They beat the Eagles. But they haven't been able to beat some of the teams that they should beat. To me, Lo, the Giants have been too inconsistent for me to trust. And while Jackson Dart has been a roller coaster ride, I think Robert Saleh and this coaching staff does enough to keep him contained and help Mac Jones in this offense stay ahead of pace. They correct their wrongs from last week. They play with more of a script, and they move to 6-3 with a win against the Giants here today.
Bang, bang, Niner gang. This is going to be a battle of attritions. Can the Niners keep Jackson Dart in the pocket and make him beat you from the pocket? Can the Niners free up Christian McCaffrey and let McCaffrey do what he does? I think they will. Give me the Niners by 2.
I think that this is a game that might come down to the wire.
It's going to be a wire game. You think so too?
It's always a game that is the first to 20. Like in basketball, they say first to 100.
Yeah.
For the Niners, it's always the first to 20. Last week it was the Texans. They won that game. This week, I think the Niners are the first team to 20, and it might be 20-17. But as long as the Niners can also survive a stadium that has consistently dropped guys like flies, including a Nick Bosa. Jimmy Garoppolo got hurt there in the past. Other guys have gone down throughout the year. To me, if they survive this game without injury and they walk away with the win, that's the best case scenario.
Yeah, Niners is going to have to play good in all 3 phases of the day. You're going to have to slow down Dax. You're going to have to slow down Dart. You know he's going to want to scramble and get out of the pocket. You have to hit this guy. And a defense, you on third and 5 to 10, you got to get off the field. You got to tighten up the coverage. You can't play off man, or you can't sit back and play zone and leave huge windows. You got to disrupt people running through on their way to their zone. You got to disrupt guys, get in there, make them bowl their pass. And you have to put some type of pressure on the quarterback. Keep him in the pocket. Don't let him beat you with his legs. But you have to win on 1st and 2nd down to make 3rd and 5 or greater. That is it. You can't let this team be in 3rd and 2 or 3. You have to make it 3rd and 5 to greater. Keep the quarterback in the pocket and make him beat you out of a phone booth.
And we're going to find out whether or not that leads the Niners to victory. Again, we will be back next week, but we're going to be at Laughing Monk. It's a 125 kick. It'll be week 10. It'll be the second and maybe most important division game of the year for the Niners. The Rams are coming to town at Levi's. That's right, Stafford, Puka, Devontae, all of them are going to be there, and you can too. If you're going to the game, pop on by Laughing Monk Brewing before, grab the free shuttle to and from the game. Hell, if you're not going to the game, pull up, watch the early games with us, kick it for the live show, enjoy some football, and get set for the Niners and the Rams again at Laughing Monk Brewing in Sunnyvale, 957thegame.com. Click on the Kickoff Show graphic, the Eventbrite link, and secure your spot for next week. As that will do it for Cameron Williams, our fantastic producer, my guy Lorenzo Neal, my name is Evan Giddings, saying so long. You were listening to the Kickoff Show, the Niners and the Giants. Coming up, we'll send you to Fox Sports Programming and then your post-game reaction with overtime between Mark Grandy and Sterling Bennett, all ahead on 95.7 The Game.
Oh, boy.